Hi everybody. Okay, we're going to have a little video today for the blog, and what we're going to talk about is driving in the Philippines. And we're just going to go on a little drive here, and I'll just kind of point out some things. Fema is shooting the video, and let's just see what we find. Let's get going. Okay, here we go. We're in Davao City now. We're coming up to J.P. Laurel Avenue. That's traffic police over there, Trapico. And there's another one over here too. They're really on the lookout. They want to maybe pull you over and get a little bit of money out of you or something like that. Oh, let's let this guy pass. Non-aircon taxi there. So this is Davao City. As you can see, this area is fairly well traveled. Quite a few cars in here, although it's not really a traffic jam right now. You never know. By the way, let's look over here. This is the Bureau of Immigration office, where you'll go for any kind of renewals on your passport and your visa, whatever. So, we're driving in Davao. I just bought this truck, so I'm not really used to driving it yet. I'm not going to be quite as good of a driver as I am on our other vehicle. And there's also tinting on the front windows here, so if it looks a little bit different looking through the front on the video, that's probably because of the tinting on the windows. Now you can see over here, this guy's trying to sneak into traffic. You just have to kind of sneak in a lane at a time sometimes, and sometimes people won't let you in, so you're going to keep on going. Okay, let's look ahead now, and we're kind of this is a commercial area. There's some hotels, and we just passed a mall right across the street from the Bureau of Immigration there. And you can see people are kind of jockeying for position. We're not in Kansas here, so you can tell that by the way people drive, I guess. It's not Kansas, it's not even Florida, I guess. I've got a friend that we joke about that we're not in Kansas anymore, so it's just kind of maybe an inside joke, I guess. Okay, there's an intersection up here, F. Torres, and the street we're on is J.P. Laurel. And you can see we're backed up a little bit in the traffic. Take a look over here. There's a guy trying to back out into the traffic, and there's plenty of traffic, but that's not really deterring him from wanting to back in, I guess. So everybody just kind of does their thing. And anyway, at this intersection up here, there's a light, but most of the lights in Davao are not working right now because we've got a new traffic light system that's not fully implemented. I think it's been going for about a year and a half now that it hasn't been implemented yet, but most of the lights just flash red. When it flashes red, that doesn't mean you have to stop like in the States. On a red flashing light in the States, you have to stop. Here, I guess it would be kind of like a yellow flashing light. Just use caution. You can continue to go, though. You don't have to stop. But on this particular intersection, I'm expecting there will be a traffic cop here because that's how they usually do it. Now this guy here is trying to get in on me, and he's trying to ease his way in between me and this other guy, and I don't want to let him in, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, we've got a traffic police here, and he's directing traffic since the light is flashing red, and you just follow what he says. Okay, so we made it through that intersection, and it's kind of funny because that guy that was trying to bump in the middle of me and this other guy, he didn't make it through the intersection. The police stopped him back there, so that didn't pay off for him. I guess I would have been stuck back there if I'd let him in. Okay, we're in an area, we're still in a commercial district here. Just right up here on the left is Gaisano Mall, which is one of the major malls in Davao. There's 6 or 7 malls in Davao, and there's probably about 3 major malls. SM, NCCC, and probably Victoria Plaza, I guess. We've already passed Victoria, and we're coming up on G Mall now. SM is quite a distance from here, at 15, 20 minutes away, I guess, by car. Now, you can see here, maybe you couldn't see, but there's people just cross the street any old place. There's crosswalks, but most people just jaywalk and cross wherever they want to cross. Now, coming up on the mall here, you can see that they've put some barriers where people can't go over into the other lanes, because it's quite common that people just go in any lane. No, it doesn't really matter which way the lane is supposed to go. They'll just go on the other side and keep going whichever way they want to go, regardless of what it's supposed to be. Okay, and we've got another commercial building on the right, and on the left is a school. School's out right now. It's summer here, and there's no school in session. And we're going to turn right here, just like in the U.S., and I'm sure in other parts of the world, you can turn right on a red light if you just take a look and make sure nobody's coming. You're free to turn right. So here we go. Okay, here's a guy making a U-turn, which is, I believe, illegal. Most intersections you can't make a U-turn, but this guy was doing it anyway. You can see here in Davao we've got all these lights and stuff, the orchid flowers in the middle lanes there, in the barrier, I mean, and they've all got signs on them advertising some promotion or another. Now we're at one of the stoplights now that actually does work. This light is one of the busier ones in town, so this light actually works. And, you know, when we first moved here, people did not really follow lights if they were there. They'd go or stop, whatever they felt like doing. Now, though, I'd have to say that here in Davao, people are pretty good about following the stoplights and actually doing what they're supposed to do. People are fairly disciplined drivers in Davao now, although I'm sure by looking at it, most of you probably would say that they're not. I guess maybe I'm just kind of used to it, and it is a little more disciplined now than it used to be. So here we are waiting on the red light. One thing I've noticed on the lights here is that it seems to be like only one side goes at a time, not like both of the lanes, one going north, one going south. They don't necessarily go at the same time. The one going north will go, then that'll turn red, the one going south will go, on a lot of them anyway. So that's a little bit of a hassle, but hopefully pretty soon we'll be going. Let's just go ahead and pause for now, and we'll pick it back up shortly after we're back on the road. Okay, we're going again now, and now you're going to notice that we had 3 lanes here. Some people in the left lane are turning left, but other people will sometimes just, to fit through there, they'll have to converge down from 3 down to 2. And you can see here all the jeepneys and stuff stop in the right lane to pick up and drop off passengers. So you've constantly got a state of flux where you may have 2 or 3 lanes, and you have to squeeze yourself in more so you can fit through certain areas. Got a guy here cutting in. I'll go ahead and let him in, but he certainly didn't stop and wait or see if I wanted to let him cut in front of me, but I'm feeling nice right now, so I'll go ahead and do that. Motorcycles are a big problem. They're all over the road. Watch this guy now. He's going to try to cut. See, he cut right in between there. And they'll go right in between vehicles and everything else. Here, this guy, they don't even look. They'll just get where they think they might be in front of you and cut over, and you pretty much just have to, see there? That guy just about ran right into me. Didn't even look to see if anybody was there. He just cut over. That is a big problem with motorcycles. Now here we're coming up, we're in the right lane. This taxi just decided to stop, which basically just closes down that lane. There wasn't even a driver in the taxi. I guess he got out and maybe went and bought some gum or a drink or maybe some cigarettes or something. Just left it parked in the right lane there. And here we're in the downtown area, so this light is working, although I see that the rest of the lights up here are just on flashing yellow. There's basically no difference between flashing yellow and flashing red. I don't know why they do that. Maybe they change in between the two because they don't want to wear out the light bulbs or something. I have no idea. But like I say, this particular light is working, and I think in about 30 seconds we're going to be going here because we should be next after the side that's going now. You can see the motorcycles are kind of taken up here. We've got one in front of us, and there's another motorcycle. Here's a guy on a bicycle. Everybody just takes... Now, this motorcycle came all the way up, and he's going to try to cut in front of me here. Let's see if we're not going to let him cut in front of me. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, he didn't really try. He looked like he wanted to, but he didn't try to get in front of me, so that was good. Now, we're going this way, but normally I don't travel through this particular way because there's a bridge up here that's damaged, and traffic can get kind of bad in here. Now, you see, we've got a flashing yellow, but there's still people cutting in and going from the red side, so that really doesn't matter. This is kind of really in the downtown area now. Over here on the right is Davao Doctor's Hospital. Okay, you can see here a traffic police has pulled over this jeepney, and it looks like all the passengers have left the jeepney now, so maybe the guy's trying to negotiate to get a little bit of payment from the guy, I don't know, or whatever. It might be a legitimate stop, who knows. I'm not really sure why we're not going now. It's a flashing yellow. For me, we should be going. Okay, you've got a lot of pedestrians coming here. They just kind of go whenever they want. And one thing that's funny here, though, is the pedestrian does not have the right-of-way. If there's a pedestrian in a crosswalk, you don't necessarily have to stop for them. Actually, I've had people where I've actually stopped to let them pass, and they've gotten mad at me for that. Like, I don't know, maybe they think I'm going to... Once they get in front of me, I'm going to gun it and run them down. I don't know, but it's just another one of those things that's a little bit different here. Now, we're at a stop here again. There's a stoplight up here, but it's also not working. This one, from what I can see, is not flashing any color. It's just totally off. So it's just one more interesting thing. We've got basically 2 more stoplights, and we're going to be at the bridge that's damaged. This area is a little bit heavy on traffic. Here in Davao, we would say that it's kind of a traffic jam here. My friends up in Manila and maybe in Cebu would say that this is not traffic, but for us it is. We're even though we've got a big population and a very large size of the city, it's still kind of a small town feel to Davao. Davao City is actually the largest city in the world in terms of land area, but it just kind of seems like a small town the way people act, and when you go out places you tend to see people that you know all the time and stuff like that, like you would in a small town. Okay, looks like we're getting ready to go here. Now, one thing I don't know if you can see, we'll see it as we get closer. There's a place up here called Ford Town Auto Supply, and they've even got kind of a Ford-looking logo, but that has nothing to do with Ford. They're not connected with Ford. They sell parts probably for any kind of car, not just Fords, but they're also the Ford color, the blue and white like Ford uses. You'll tend to find that any kind of name brands or anything like that is not necessarily enforced very much in the Philippines. You know, in the USA, one of the things that you always hear is that you have to drive defensively. You have to kind of defend your, drive in a way that you defend yourself, that you don't get hurt, don't get in an accident. I have a little saying about that. Here in the Philippines, you have to drive offensively. You're on offense here. If you stop to let somebody go, you're going to have 30 cars try to go. So in most cases, you have to try to be on offense. Keep yourself moving. If you keep stopping for stuff, you're never going to get where you're going. So be on offense. Oh, we're really hung up down here. I don't know what's going on. I think we'll take another little pause here, and we'll come back after we get back on the road here. Okay, we're moving ahead slowly but surely. We're in Bangkerohan right now, which is a part of Davao. It's an area where there's a lot of market, and there's a wet market here and that sort of thing. I think this is probably the biggest wet market in Davao. Either Bangkarohan or Agdao, but I think Bangkarohan is. This is where the damaged bridge is, just maybe an eighth of a mile up here or so. Maybe like 200 meters, I'd say, something like that. So that's why there's a lot of traffic in here. Basically, the bridge was two spans, one going south and one going north. And the southbound span collapsed about a year ago. And actually, it's almost exactly a year ago. It was April of 2007. And so they're still in the midst of building a new span going south. And so now the northbound span takes traffic going both ways. So you'll be able to see here, we'll be merging onto the other side of the road pretty quick. And for the bridge part, we'll both sides will be on the same span of bridge. You can see here they've built up a lot of fence in between the two sides of the road. That's to keep people from running across the street here and make them go up to the crosswalk. The reason being that you've got all these people going across the street, it holds up the traffic. And you can see everybody squeezing in here. This is supposed to be 2 lanes. We've got 4 lanes actually going here. You've got the lane where there's 2 lanes of jeepneys and 2 lanes of cars here. And that's why it's so slow. Everybody has to squeeze down from 4 lanes down to actually only 1 lane when we get up to the bridge here. So you can imagine how that goes. Okay, another 20 meters or so here. We're going to switch over to the other side of the road. They've got this where it flows pretty good, except the fact that you've got 4 lanes merging down to 1. Sometimes they make it merge down to 2, but usually you can only fit 1 lane across the bridge in each direction. For me, if I come through here, I like to either be in the all the way left lane or the lane next to the left, because those are the 2 that have the best access to get on the bridge. The others, you're having to kind of either push your way in or rely on other people to let you get in. And so you can see here, we're all really trying to squeeze in here. Everybody's competing for a place. I'll let this yellow guy in, but I'm not going to let the taxi in, though. That's one thing. If you let people in, try just to let 1 person in. If you let more than 1 in, then you're going to be stuck until somebody lets you in. Drive offensively, as I said. Okay, so this is the Bangkarohan Bridge. It's also called the Governor Generoso Bridge. We're headed south, but we're on the northbound side of the bridge because the southbound side has collapsed. Now, this is the first time I've seen they've actually started making progress where you can see that they're building something. Every time I've been through here, it's just been like they're surveying or something like that. There's a couple cranes. Oh, I see 3 cranes out here. So it's good to see that they're making progress, because I don't come through here much because of the traffic problem. And I wasn't aware that they were actually starting to put some stuff in place. Looks like they're driving some pilings in for the bridge there. We've got a couple traffic police up here making sure things go smoothly. And now we'll move back over to the southbound side. That bicycle guy just about hit us. You got to be on the lookout here for anything. So now this area of town here wouldn't be considered the downtown or anything. When you get on this side of the Davao River, it's you're kind of in, I wouldn't call it a suburb, but it's not the main part of town either. Again, here you've got the railings up in the middle to keep people from walking across. Also stops people driving from turning left and making a U-turn or something like that. One of the reasons that traffic can get really heavy in here, oh look, we've got a whole bunch of police trucks here lined up, all getting gas. Must be about 6 or 7 of them there. I wonder what they're doing. But anyway, as I was saying, this area of town is where Ateneo is. This is one of the best schools in Mindanao, really. and our kids go to school here. This campus here is for the grade school and the high school. Then there's also an Ateneo University campus over on the other side of town. So we're going to get over into the middle lane here, and we're coming up on NCCC Mall, which is on the right up here. So you can see people just crossing the street anywhere here. Well, there's a crosswalk there, but anyway, there's NCCC. That's a fairly new mall. It's about 2 to 3 years old now, I think. I think the grocery store is 3 years old, and the rest of the mall is about 2 years old. And we've got another working traffic signal here, which is kind of unusual. But this is probably one of the longest working signals in town. It's used pretty extensively because a lot of traffic does come through here, I guess. You can see there's a lot of jeepneys, like this little red one here. That's called a multi-cab, which is kind of a mini jeepney. It's the new style. I was talking to my friend Dave Starr when he was in town a while back, and he told me that they don't really have many multi-cabs up in Manila, where he lives near Manila. He said it's mostly still the old style jeepneys, like there's one right over here on the other side, another red one. Now you've got a jeepney stop here just past this light. Basically all the jeepneys stop here and drop passengers, pick up new passengers, that sort of thing. If you're driving here in the Philippines, you'll want to try not to stay in the right-hand lane, because that's where all the jeepneys stop. You can see here they're also stopping in the middle lane, which they're not supposed to do. And they'll cut right in front of you or whatever. But we made it through. That's the main thing. This yellow guy's going to try to get in too, but I'm not going to let him. Now that we're past, that's really a major jeepney stop there. The jeepneys like this guy, they'll stop anywhere. Anywhere along the road, if somebody signals them that they want to get out, they'll stop. Or if they see a passenger, it doesn't matter where they all are, they'll stop and pick up a passenger. Like you've got a lady here in the pink standing along the road. She is probably waiting for a jeepney. But as I said, they'll stop anywhere, but there are also designated stops where almost all of them will stop, like back at the mall there. So, but now that we're past that, there won't be too much activity as far as jeepneys stopping in front of us in this area. So anyway, we're headed south of town. I've got a little meeting down here, and Famous coming along, and so I just wanted to do some filming and put this up on the blog in the next couple days. Let you guys see how it is to drive in the Philippines. That's going to be it for now. I think we've gone through the major part of the driving. The rest of it's pretty easy drive. There won't be much traffic or anything. Now this guy here, the front end of his car has been taken out, it looks like, before, so he was a little more cautious on pulling out in front of us, it looked like. But anyway, as I was saying, that's going to be about it for today. I hope you enjoyed our little driving lesson. And I'm going to come up with more of these videos in the future. Let me know if you like this one. If people like it, I'll do more videos. I might try to do about one every week on my blog, on my column. And I'll see you again.